That hurt. More verticality. Recording in progress. All right. It's the final countdown. We're here. You know, in that song, you notice what's the first line? We're heading to Venus. He could have used Uranus as well, but that wouldn't sound good, right? We're heading to Uranus.
That'd be like a few too many syllables there.
A little bit, but I mean, you can't rhyme anything with it, right? And Mars would have worked too. Yeah, what are you going to rhyme that with? Bars, cars, impossible. So, Venus is easy. You can rhyme that with a lot of things. Penis. All right, folks. Yeah, we got a lot of things to get in today. We're going to have fun. Why the hell not? Brett's had a rough day. I did watch Filippo's video about doing articles. I guess the funny part I found was that Marcelo was dropped by Leon for farting and laughing.
I sent that to you.
In the dressing room. Oh, but I watched his show specifically about it. I know you sent it to me too. Yeah, he did a little blip about it.
He called BS on it. I'm like, hey, it's a legit article.
No, here's what I found out. I dug a little deeper. So he was not dropped for just farting and laughing. It appears that he would do it whenever the manager was giving a halftime speech, a really important one.
You can do it.
Yeah. You can see why that would piss the coaching staff off. And apparently he did it a lot. Like whenever something serious was going down, and he was giving the pregame speech or the end game speech or the halftime speech, he just did it at the wrong times. He did it in practice too, apparently. Like the coach would be yelling at him and getting all serious and shit, and he just let one rip on the sideline in the circle. So
he's just got it on tap, ready to roll. I guess at any moment he's like, open the valves.
You got to be careful about doing that though when you're playing, because you could shart and then you got to go play out there with a shart, and that would suck. It's been raining most of the day here. I don't know what should we kick it off immediately with this whole Pulisic issue, or do we want to start with some questions?
Well, no, let's just jump right into Pulisic right now.
Okay, so one of the articles that was kind of featured was written by somebody who said that Pulisic had a lack of killer instinct in that last 0-0 game, the cup game. And then, unfortunately for Pulisic, he had a lack of killer instinct again today. I don't agree with that.
I think killer instinct's probably the wrong term to use here. Maybe you could say something about a finishing problem. But, I mean, in the cup game, he absolutely had a killer instinct. He was the only dangerous one in the attack for Chelsea.
And we've mentioned this before, but it's a 0-0 game. Why aren't you criticizing all the other motherfuckers who didn't even create anything? Mm-hmm. What kind of lack of killer instinct do they have? They must be really in the shit. But guess what? The local Chelsea press and the Telegraph and the fans, they always go after fucking Pulisic. Always. And they went after him again today after he missed that sitter. And man, it's just
and he missed the sitter today. Yeah. We'll go over that in a second. But I wonder if they just know. They know that it's clickbait. It's going to draw a click to their channel.
Telegraph
just
knows
throw Pulisic on there.
Yep.
And people are going to be like, "Oh, this is a shit article." Blah blah blah, and read through it. And oh my god, they're so on his balls.
But you can't read it. It's a paywall.
I could start a free trial, but I don't want to have to worry about canceling.
Fuck that dude who wrote this.
Try 1 free month, then 50 cents per month for 2. Cancel anytime.
Who's the guy who wrote the article?
Matt Law. And it's not his fault that Telegraph requires you to pay for reading their articles.
Hey, Matt Law.
I thought you fucking froze there for a second, man. You weren't moving at all.
I did freeze.
No, okay.
No, I did freeze.
So I mean, I mean, yeah, this hasn't really been Pulisic's best year by any means. I mean, he suffered through a lot of injuries. We've talked about this ad nauseum as well.
Yeah.
But even in the games he's been in, he's missed opportunities, as has the rest of Chelsea. But man, there have been a couple of opportunities that just, if I had hair in my head, would maybe pull it out. Just like today's game against Leicester. I mean,
Yep.
You haven't seen this miss yet.
No,
So
I haven't. I had to ask you about it.
Let's pull this up.
Can we watch this?
Yeah, we'll just do it real quick. It's
okay.
Real quick. You just sure.
Ready?
Here goes.
Hopefully we can do some weird effects.
Whoop.
Oh! No.
I don't think they're going to ding us for like a second and a half there.
I'll take it off the screen. They might ding us for fucking stills, for all we know.
Yeah.
Although this isn't some. So it
Ball's
is
nicely played through to Lukaku. Ooh, that was way too quick. Good
but
Lord.
it is NBC, so
wide open. Ball should be going to him.
He's pointing for it. He's
got
asking for it.
I just put it away.
And
We're doing a little bit of reverse now. And wide.
Shankopotamus, man.
Oh.
He should have used his left. It would have been easier to guide into the corner.
I say that about people. I say that to people all the time when I'm watching them do shit.
Yeah.
Like, man, if only he would have just accepted the ball over to his left, would have been a lot better.
It's a tap in if you use your
Pulisic
left.
can shoot with his left.
Yeah.
So I don't know why.
He might have been off stride. That's all I can think of. Like, that would have been more difficult to make happen at that time. But it doesn't look like he is. Looks like he could have opened up his body and used his left foot to guide it into the corner. Yeah. Nate, we're Spicky. Hey, Nate, thanks for coming back. This may be the only true sitter he's missed this year. I'd agree, because the other games, those weren't all sitters.
They weren't sitters.
They were not sitters.
He missed opportunities. That's why I worded it the way I did. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this last one was absolutely just a brutal miss.
It's a brutal one to go out of the season on. Hopefully that's not the last we're going to see of him in a Chelsea uniform. But everybody's talking about this article, especially if we zoom into the little bottom part underneath the title. That's the other part about the article.
Let's see. There's a growing chemistry between the American and Lukaku, but he failed to take his chances when the big moments arrived.
Okay, there was some other part then that was about Klopp, and that he would be.
It's past the paywall.
Yeah, that he would fit in better playing at Liverpool with Klopp. I mean, he might, but he'd still be battling for playing time.
He's been a big fan of Pulisic's for years. So
I don't know who you yank out of the starting lineup to put Pulisic on the wing on that club. I mean, and it's not like they're not deep there. I'd say they're a good 3 to 4 deep in attacking wide players in Liverpool, where nobody's really, Ziyech hasn't really come out and staked a claim. Werner hasn't staked a claim. Havertz usually plays center forward when Lukaku does not. So,
I guess the issue here is that any move that he makes is going to have to be kind of a relatively big blockbuster move. I mean, It's not like he's going to go to Everton for 10 mil.
Yeah, and let's not forget they have new American owners. And notice ever since the official buy was announced, he's played every single game. He started every single game. Even though we know that Tuchel does this rotation with the team constantly. Werner plays for 2 games, then he doesn't play for 2 games. Then he plays for 2 games, then he doesn't play for 2 games. So he's not the only one being affected by this. And Lukaku went through this season, played a couple games, then didn't play for 3 games, or came off the bench the next game, or didn't play. So it's a big, Tuchel's a big rotation guy. And I understand it when you're playing that many fixtures. You got to measure everybody's health and make sure that everybody's truly 100% fit. And if somebody's dipping below a certain level, you're going to have to start somebody else that next game. So there you go. But As far as the criticism of Pulisic and the press seem to focus on him, I'm with you. I think the Telegraph writes these kind of articles because not only are they going to get their usual Chelsea viewers to click on it, but now they're going to get lots of Americans to click on it.
Well, it's funny because we understand this because we have a YouTube channel and we talk about Pulisic a lot, and we talk about him so much that every show we're sitting there going like, "Well, we need to talk. We need to bring up somebody else so we can use them in talk." Because I feel like we're just beating that Pulisic horse, just constantly.
Guys playing
that drum,
making news. If McKennie were playing,
he's back. He's back in training right now.
Well, we've been saying that for 2 weeks.
Well, it's been officially announced now.
Yeah, but the season.
The other one, the week or so ago, was like a somebody took a little snap, a little picture from like a way off distance as he's out in the field.
The season's over, no? Or is there one more game left?
Doesn't matter. He's not going to play. And I'm glad. I mentioned that from the get-go. I said that, man, because Allegri was talking about bringing him back. Oh, we could have him back for the last 4 games. I'm like, no, stop it. Guy just broke his foot, and you're gonna stack him back in for the 4 games that mean shit? You can't win the league.
Yeah.
There was a cup game in there. That was the only thing I think that he could have made a difference in. But you can't win the league. You're guaranteed a Champions League spot at that point. I mean, it was like one of those things like Juve would have to have lost all of their games, and the team below them would have had to win all of their games in order to swap places. But this is like, no, stop it. Stop talking bullshit.
Burnley got a tie against Aston Villa, which puts them on the exact same point mark as Leeds going into the last game of the season, by the way, for Jesse Marsch. And
Newcastle, I think, right? I think that's what I said last time.
Oh, you mean
Burnley? Burnley's got Newcastle.
They
played Aston Villa, right?
Yeah, and they should have lost, but they didn't.
So they got Newcastle next, and I think Leeds has Brenton, right?
Brentford. Right? Yeah. So it's like that. They've got to be. They've got to win their last game. Leeds do. They must, because there is a chance. There is a small chance.
Yeah, they're playing Brentford. Yeah.
Yeah, that Burnley could beat Newcastle. I doubt it. I'm hoping Newcastle just wins the game, and all we have to do is get Leeds. I say we. I'm a Leeds fan.
Look at this. So Leeds and Burnley are battling here.
Look at the goal difference.
Look at Brentford and Newcastle. They're battling at the same points.
Yeah.
This is fascinating. Both teams are playing the almost identical teams. I mean, not identical, like player for player, tactic for tactic. But I mean, as far as just where they're on the list.
The big problem for Leeds is they're going to be missing a shitload of players for red cards, card accumulation, injury. Bamford's not going to be back. I mean, it'll be a miracle. It really will if Jesse stays up. And I'm sure we're going to see some Pellegrino Matarazza dancing on the sidelines. If so, Jose, you're back. We love you, brother. I'm back. Pulisic is not the core of the team problems. They just like the clickbait. That's for sure. I really hope that Pulisic is healthy and has a killer instinct like 76 against the Redcoats in the World Cup. Love you guys. Merca. Merca. Hey, yeah, no, that'll be great. Maybe we should rent out the Revs revolutionary guys they have that shoot the muskets during every time they score a goal.
Maybe
$20 can't even buy them milk and bread. Yes, it's not that bad yet. It's not great. Yes, the cost of everything is up.
Inflation is a bitch.
It is a bitch, man. Like meat, chicken.
My wife sent me a text the other day. She goes, "Yeah, I hear gas is going to be skyrocketing the next day or two. So why don't you go fill up your car?" I'm like, "Well, I filled it up on Sunday. Whatever. I had to get gas for the lawnmower. So I'm still looking at my car, and it's still sitting at like 420 some odd miles before it's empty. I can't go fill it up again." But I guess, whatever. It's the same price then as it is now. Well, not now. Now it's jumped. It jumped like 40 to 50 cents.
Where are you guys at now?
We're at 450.
Okay, that's what it was when I left my parents' house on Monday morning.
It's not what I paid Sunday. You said Monday morning. Okay.
Yeah. It was up to 450. And I'm like, God. All right. Next topic, the big shebang of the day was that John Johnstone, $2. How do we combat our issue of no finishers? Number 9. Well, this works in well, doesn't it? You call up Malik Tillman, who files his one-time switch to come play for the United States men's national team, which is what happened.
So, just as an explanation, because obviously there's a lot of confusion around who has to change and who has to do the one-time switch and whatnot. Even just accepting the invite.
Yeah.
But yeah, he had played some 20 some odd games with the German youth teams, and they're the UEFA champions for them. So, yeah, that's why he has to file the switch, and that's why this is coming out the way it is.
And the U21 German national team manager Antonio De Salvo really gave him the guilt trip today, man. Really, in that article and those quotes, he's like, "Oh yeah, we made special efforts to keep him. We called him up every time. We told him we wanted him. They said we wanted him to keep playing for us. He gave us no indication he was even interested in U.S. men's national team. So we feel a little disappointed by his decision." In fact, that's what it says. De Silva was disappointed by the decision. Yeah. So this is from Kicker, which we translated.
Yeah. So the actual quote says, "We regret Malik's decision, and it surprised us very much. We promoted him through the U21s as a younger player, placed a lot of trust in him, gave him match practice. We were intensely involved in that exchange about his prospects up to the senior national team." Yep. Again, translated, guys. It's not perfect English. That's not just me reading.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, And then he went on to call him a Scheisskopf, which, no, he didn't. He didn't. That's a shithead in German. Malik is the answer. No, he's not. We don't know if he's going to be the answer. He could turn into
an answer.
Well, he could turn into Julian Green. We don't know.
Well, Greg can't. I think. Greg hasn't said anything on this, but there was a lot of talk that Greg sees Malik as a 9 in his system.
Yep.
And he could be the answer. Malik's pretty calm in and around the box. He knows how to shoot the ball, which is something we're desperately missing. He kind of, quite frankly, just from a highlight reel, he kind of reminded me of a more offensive Weston McKennie. But when I say that, meaning purely as a second striker type of Weston McKennie.
Yeah,
he has no midfield responsibility. Just that constant attack and pressure in the box and being in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, and we saw Juve do that with Weston last season a lot. A little less this season, but yeah, he can.
That's the difference. That's how Allegri played him compared to.
Did he?
So Chris, that's the reason he made the switch, is because he got asked, "Hey, be on my leg," and Malik's like,
"No, that is purely an Augsburg tradition, purely an Augsburg tradition."
Yeah.
So, but the thing is that really, typically, if you had a different system, Malik would be playing a CAM role or a secondary striker role, but we don't play either of those positions. So he's going to have to play winger or the 9. There you go. Nate says, "I don't like the situation. I feel like we're losing Slonina and taking Tillman." No, I don't think so. I realize Slonina isn't locked in, but it feels like we are Germany in the Tillman situation. I don't think we need to worry about Slonina. I know he took a picture with the manager of the Polish team, and
he got the invite to their nation league roster,
and he said no.
Oh, did he reject it?
As far as I understand, he's not taking it.
Yeah, if you were smart, again, this is what Greg tells the Duels. He even come out and said this, but it's like, hey, take it at your own pace. Take it slow. You're in no rush. Slonina is fucking 18 years old. He has no immediate need to take up a Nations League and get tied.
In goalie years,
in either people,
how you have dog years? In goalie years, Slonina is 7 years old right now. All right?
In dog years.
In goal years. He's so
Okay.
young. I mean, he's not
equivalent to 1 year puppy. Is what
yeah,
you're saying.
he's not going to be reaching his peak or anywhere near it until he's like in his late 20s. So if he makes this decision like Ochoa did early on when he doesn't have to, he's just a dumbass, and there's nothing we can do about it.
He doesn't have to make a one-time switch either. He hasn't been tied to the United States by any
Yeah,
means.
but if he goes and plays Nations League and they throw him in there, he's done. He's capped for Poland.
He's under 21. He can still file a one-time switch.
We need to look this up, dude. I don't think so. Jose Reyes, $10. Man, thank you, man. So now we can afford more than bread. And
we each get our own loaf, and we can split the gallon milk.
What did the guy say we can't buy with
milk and bread?
Oh yeah, we got milk and bread covered, plus some cold cuts at this point, or more if we spend it right. Jose says, for number 9 problem, I really do think it's going to take a run. Main reason why I'm okay with calling PFOC bright. Example, as a center back in club soccer, I had a tourney where I scored 6 goals. Well, that'll make you look good, wouldn't it? Now, the problem with PFOC right now, he didn't play today. He didn't dress. He was on the sideline injured for young boys. So I don't yet know how bad the injury was. Initially, it was like a knock. Now it sounds like it could be a little more, but nobody's really providing any details. So I don't know how serious it is. That's a horrible setback for him. But we know Haji Wright's coming.
Absolutely.
We know Malik Tillman's coming, and
CCD.
probably
and his. If it's not again, if Tillman is thought of as a 9, and we know that Haji Wright's going to be there.
And Ferreira.
I don't see. Well, that's the thing. I don't see Berhalter using his third 9, if you will, on PFOC, and we'll bring in somebody like Ferreira, since we've got the Nations League, and he wants some form of semblance of what we have. But yeah, Jose, John Johnston, thanks for the super chats. Appreciate it, guys. Help us out.
Yeah, the other thing about that is that we already know.
There. So if he gets cap tied with Poland, he can still make the one-time switch, but he has to have 3 years of not playing any games.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he could do that because...
Or just not make the decision yet.
He's 18, but I don't know what the fucking rush is. Like, I don't know what the rush with David Ochoa was. I have no understanding of what the rush was there. What is the rush?
If let's just say he denies it and he pisses off the Polish national team, he still has the United States to fall back with, you know?
Man, they won't.
And I'm not saying that it's a fallback by any means, but it's just like there's no reason he needs to make that decision now.
They're not going to get upset about that.
I agree. I'm just saying.
They know it's a long shot. That's what I'm saying. All right? It's a long shot.
Well, they're doing the exact same thing that we did. You just you show your interest, you keep in touch, and then eventually you make your move. But I don't think Poland nor the US are willing to make their move right now.
And what if Slonina doesn't turn out to be what we thought he was? There have been a lot of highly touted young goalkeepers who turn out to be dick squat. All right? So let's not jump the gun here. I mean, he could get an injury. He could get in a car crash. I'm not wishing that on him or anything like that. I'm just saying there are all kinds of things. He could fall out of confidence and form. Kinds of things can happen. He may not develop from here any bit more. We've seen that with a lot of 17 and 18-year-olds. So was him being salty about not playing versus Panama? Well, he can go suck a big, long, fucking hard icicle. All right?
You know what's funny about this statement, because there was definitely that rumor when it happened. But how many players, dual nats, opted to file that one-time switch because they got a little butthurt about a decision, or a specific coach pissing them off?
Well, we got a great example with Subotic.
That was the first one that came to mind, along with Jonathan Gonzalez.
If you're not going to play for the U.S. men's national team because that dumbass that used to be the scout for us and at that time he was the coach of the youth team. What's his stupid name? He's a stupid moron. Anyhow, probably better I don't say his name. Who didn't call Subotic up for the youth team? Yeah, that was it. Subotic was
It
done
was
with us.
the wrong decision.
Wrongren. I can't believe CBS has that guy on as one of their consultants. What? And that guy's a real piece of work. All right.
And like I said, Jonathan Gonzalez made that one-time switch after the U20 snub, and it wasn't even like I don't think it was a U20 World Cup snub.
Shut up.
Did I say anything close to that name? No. Stop it. So again, it's these youth snubs that seem to be a lot of the one-time switch.
All I gotta say,
then they go and they don't pan out as well.
That's when your parents sit you down and say, "Listen, dude, I know you got snubbed, but don't make a rash decision yet. You got plenty of time. Play some more games.
Yeah.
Work it out. Don't make a commitment now. You don't need to make a commitment now. I don't care what they're promising you."
Well, Gonzalez was 18 at the time when he made his switch. Ochoa, how old was Ochoa? Like
18?
20? 19, 20 area?
Somewhere around there.
He was in the World Cup or the Olympic qualifying, so he had to be under 21 or 23. Under 23, let me rephrase that. I think it was like 20. But you make that switch then.
He's rash. He's rash.
It's all youth decisions. It's so stupid.
Let's
sit on it.
Listen, all the best goalkeepers in the world, outside of one I can think of since I've been alive, aren't rash people. They're like Casey Keller. They're like Brad Friedel. They're like Tim Howard. They're not rash people. They don't do rash things. And Ochoa has a history of doing these kind of things, making rash comments, provoking the opponent, kicking balls into the stands for no reason whatsoever, getting yellow cards for doing stupid stuff like that. He's a young kid who needs to grow up and mature. So, hey, good. Mexico, you work on his maturity. We're done with him. Big Harry Jake. I know Slonina's pretty legit. I don't say he's not going to be completely a great player. He might be. But he isn't the first player in the 40 years that I've been watching U.S. men's national team prospects. That's pushing it, maybe 30. We've had a lot of guys that were supposed to be the next great fucking sea salt caramel ice cream, and they turned out to be just vanilla. So we need to just take a chill. We gotta chill. We can't. I don't think
we have to remember. Slonina is pretty legit. I mean, he's only had about half of a season as a professional right now, actual picking up games, and he's doing well with it. He's kind of regressed his past couple games with Chicago, but that's also in Chicago as a whole. I'm not placing the blame on him by any means. But you have to remember, who's behind Slonina at Chicago? Well, he's our current U20 goalkeeper that's starting. And I saw somebody post this, I think, on either on our comments section or it was on Twitter.
Is he Polish?
But Brad Friedel came out and stated that Chris Brady is just as good as Slonina, if not better. So, I mean, we've got him. Bart, what's his first name? Plays for Porto or Benfica, I think. Barto?
No, Borto plays for Fulham. And then
okay, there we go.
We've got a Dunze at
Leicester
U23 team.
Mm-hmm. So we have a ton of youth players just sitting in the ranks right now.
Yeah,
and I'm not saying anything against Slonina in this sense because I'm all for Slonina. I mean, I'm obviously a Chicago guy, But again, he has a half a year of professional experience right now.
Yeah,
and he needs time to develop, and hopefully he's got people around him saying, "Hey, dude, you just turned 18. You don't need to make a decision right now. Just say, hey, Poland, I appreciate the call up. I want to weigh out my options. I still want to grow professionally. I'm not closing any doors here, and then just go about your business."
Dunse's pretty legit too, but people don't know because they don't get to watch the Leicester U23 games. They're hard to find. You have to go dig. And Alex Bordeaux, he could be better. I mean, he played quite a bit for the Fulham youth squads this year. So
he's in with our U20s or not. Him and Chris Brady are the two top goalkeeper options for that. Because I don't think Chicago's willing to let go of Slonina and Brady qualifiers. So I think the writing's on the wall, and I think the U20 coach realized that and kind of started going with more Brady and Borta at this point.
I just want to be really clear. There is no way to stop stupidity. Okay? If kids who have parents that aren't counseling them or don't understand how the system works, some of them don't have parents that understand how the system works. Or they don't have good agents, or they don't have good people, or they just have yes men around them. They're going to make, and they're not very bright, or they're rash and young, and they make there's nothing we can do to stop that. We all know that Slonina is on the U.S. men's national team radar. Berhalter's made it very clear.
Yep.
U.S. Soccer's made it really clear. We have made it so clear that if he wants to make a very early rash decision, then that's going to be on him. And we can't stop that. He's going to do that. And I don't think just calling him up so we can ride pine for 3 games and maybe we squirt him in the last 15 minutes, maybe he doesn't even want that. He may not want it. He may not want to have to make that decision right now. They may have already had that discussion. So there you go.
I don't know. I haven't heard anything about the U20s, quite frankly. I know who's there. I know where they're there. I see the results. I don't know a whole hell of a lot inside information with the U20s by any means. Whether Brady starts over Borto, I don't know. But I mean, there's still very promising goalkeeping options.
That is a really tight one right there because they're very similar goalkeepers, actually. So
I will say, at the age of I think it was 15 or 16, and somewhere in that range, Brady got loaned out to Forward Madison, which was in USL 1.
Yeah,
for like he got there and he started the final 8 games of the season. And ended up getting like USL 1's Young Player of the Year. And I mean, at the age of like 15, I mean, he's a goalkeeper. Of course, he's like 6'4",
and lanky and tall and athletic, and he can jump a mile. So
again, I don't think Slonina is going to make a rash decision. He might, but I think he's got a solid head on his shoulders. Unless he really wants to play for Poland, that's up to him.
Yeah,
no harm, no foul. It's his choice. But I would hope that people are around him saying, hey, you may feel like you want to go with Poland right now. Sit on it. You don't need to jump into anything quick.
And
all of a sudden, we're looking at a long list of very promising goalkeepers at that age level right now. There's actually a wide gap in that middle age where we're missing.
Yeah, Slonina does not seem like a rash person to me.
Mm-hmm.
He's going with the flow. The Poland coach said, I'm in the United States. I'm doing some scouting. Would you be willing to meet? And he didn't know that guy was going to dive bomb him with a Poland shirt and say, hey, take a photo with me. He didn't know that. So there you go.
While we're talking about Malik and everything like that, we brought up the U9s. Might as well talk about the U.S. roster seems to have been pushed from being announced on Monday to being announced tomorrow on Friday.
Good, because there's no reason to delay this.
Yeah.
There really isn't. Unless there are injury concerns, they're still examining. But it says Richie Ledesma and Jonathan Gomez may be there too. Maybe. I'd love it if Jonathan Gomez is there. Richie Ledesma, I'd be fine with that too. So
that kind of stumbles into a question. Might as well talk about it while we're here, I guess. Might as well get this one going. I hate this shit. We got Tillman, but it looks like we might have lost Ledesma and Mendez.
No, we didn't.
To El Tree. Thoughts?
No, we haven't lost them to El Tree.
I still haven't seen anything about Ledesma expressing any form of interest in playing for Mexico.
Yeah, all his best buddies he's been playing with his whole youth career in the U.S. soccer are his best friends are like Reyna. I mean, he's not Sargent. He's not going anywhere. I mean, not immediately. And if Mexico does do that, that is a predatory bullshit cap. Because Richie Ledesma played 1 game for PSV this season after coming back from injury. All right, 1 game.
So I'm going to show the super chat here in a second. But Chris Gary says this: if I had waited 30 seconds, I would have asked a different question in my super chat. As the super chat says this.
What saga this has been, if true. Trusty people are leaking. Yeah,
All
I
right.
mean,
So, Chris, post a different question in there. I'll pull it up, man.
for free.
You don't need a super chat again.
Yeah. The point is here that Ledesma has a high ceiling. He's had a lot of injuries, some severe ones. We'll see how he comes back. He scored for PSV in the last game of the season, which was great. It was the game winner. But prior to that, he was playing with PSV too. Yeah, and I'm sure he did dispute it because he's grown up playing for all our youth teams, and all his best friends play on the U.S. men's national team. They're the same age he is, basically. So, yeah. And Mendes, I don't know anything about. I don't think a full season playing for Vizela in Portugal, and he's got to go back to Wolfsburg, I believe, now to find out where he's going to get loaned out next. So we'll see how that works out for him.
His team, his Portuguese side is staying up, aren't they? Or did they got relegated, didn't they?
I think they were very close last I looked. You want to pull that up real quick? Yeah. The point is that Mendes would play a lot at the beginning of the season. Then he kind of lost his starting role for a little while. Then he came back and he regained it by the end of the season.
Was it Vizela, you said?
Yeah, VIZ.
They are out of relegation zone by 4 points.
By 4 points. Okay, they were going to survive.
So I guess at that point, why wouldn't Wolfsburg, unless they plan on keeping it is Wolfsburg, right?
Yeah.
Unless they're planning on keeping Mendes, why not just ship him back off to Vizela? Because, I mean, clearly he was getting playing time there. They were utilizing him.
I don't know where his contract stands. They may need to sell him next window.
Gotcha.
So we'll have to look into that. But I'm not worried about either of those players. I think I'm more worried about for Ledesma, honestly, than I am Mendes. But I would be happy to see Ledesma in these round of games coming up. And especially with the injuries we have to certain players in certain positions. You know, if you bring McKennie in, are you going to play him every game? He just came back from that shit. I don't know. So you're going to have to try out other guys since you're definitely have already gotten rid of Leggett. I don't think Leggett's coming back. And despite what Brian Smetcher says, I don't think Roldan is anything more than a locker room guy. And I don't know if you really need a locker room guy. I don't. If that's your role, hey, my name's Christian Roldan. I'm the U.S. men's national team ambassador. Okay, great.
Is Mendes with Ajax now? He was with Freiburg in 2019.
Oh, I got him confused. Who's on Vizela then? God damn it.
No, that's who Mendes is with in Vizela.
Okay.
So he was with Freiburg in 2019, and then from 2019 to 2021, he's been with Ajax, playing on their second team. And then this season, he's down to Vizela.
Okay. Who's the Wolfsburg kid? I forgot his name. Fuck.
Yuli.
Thank you, Lanez. God damn it. You know what? Those three players, not Ledesma, but I get those two players, Mendes and Lanez, I get them confused constantly.
Yep.
Constantly. It really is frustrating. Oh. All right. So we'll see what happens.
All right, here's Chris's new super chat.
With Gojo likely getting called up, would you Jogo? It's Jogo.
There you go.
Yeah. Likely getting called up. Would you expect some quality minutes? Hopefully he competes with Bello. I'd start him over Bello every day of the week.
Yeah.
Any chance for Scally? You know, that's the one word that has not come out of good old Greg's mouth.
That's the funny part, though. We're talking about bringing in a guy like Jogo try out at left back, and to get him incorporated because you see promise with him, sure. And we're looking at a player like Scally who has yet to see the field.
And then we have the contradiction that Greg doesn't want to look at Brooks because he knows what Brooks can do. Well, you already know what Yedlin can do too. So bring in Scally. Or you already know what Cannon can do. Don't bring in Cannon, bring in Scally.
Well, again, we have the Nations League, so he's going to at least want what would be classified as an A squad starting lineup.
That's fine.
And that would incorporate Yedlin because Dest is currently out.
All I'm saying is don't bring Yedlin and Cannon. Bring Yedlin and Scally. That's all I'm saying. Bring Robinson and Jogo or even DeJuan Jones has been really impressive for the Revs this
Mhm.
season. He really has. Good point, Big Harry.
And
So-
David says that Vines has fallen out, it seems.
Yeah, that's
He
kind of
hasn't
weird.
been since making that move. He hasn't been called in once, despite the fact that he's playing relatively consistently.
Yeah, pretty much every game he's a starter for Antwerp. It's just really weird. I haven't got to watch except for the highlights for his games, and obviously he's not featured quite a bit because
Is he
he's
Edlin
playing
benched?
led back. He wasn't last week.
I haven't been following Inter Miami.
He wasn't
Why
last
would I?
week. He wasn't last week. So I don't know what that's all about. Who was he replaced by? Breck Shea? I'd be surprised if we were benched. Yeah.
Brett says, any chance of getting a roster prediction? Goff just tweeted the roster will be out tomorrow, which is what we're talking about.
I know.
We're not. I mean, we didn't have enough time to do anything as far as figuring out a prediction. I mean, do you want to run through the at least?
Hell
the
yeah,
starting
let's
lineup?
do it. Let's
do
do
a starting lineup.
We could do more than that. We can pick 3 goalkeepers right now.
Sure,
No problem. And then we can get up to 26 or 20. I think it's 26, right?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Let's go goalkeeper.
All right. We got 3 goalkeepers, and those are easy. Stefan.
Slonina. Oh, sorry.
Turner. And the guy, Johnson. There you go. Done. That
So
was
it's
easy.
June, the end of the season. He's not going to bring in Horvath?
You think?
Yeah.
Okay. Horvath's
time.
fine. Horvath / Johnson. You pick. You flip a coin.
I'm saying Horvath.
Well, Horvath's been taking a Horvath because he's sat pine today too. Again.
Okay, so
yesterday.
So that's Stefan. Turner's the only one that's not playing right now, and he's gonna be shipped off to Arsenal soon to sit too. So I mean, I'm not gonna use that as an excuse. It was clear that Horvath was in the mix. Well, you know what? They're calling in Johnson. Maybe they didn't want to call in Horvath because there's no reason to bring him in as a third goalkeeper for 3 games in a 6-day window. And maybe they want to just call in somebody who's closer. I don't know. But
all right, 5 center backs: Zimmerman,
yes,
EPB,
yes.
Richards.
Is he fully healthy?
I hear he is.
Okay, sure. Yes.
CCV.
Yes.
And Long.
That's who it's going to be. Sure.
That's who it's going to be. We're predicting Berhalter here. All right, just to be clear. Left back. Obviously Jedi.
Of course, yes.
And then I don't know. I mean, I would like to see. It sounds like Jogo's going to get that call.
Sure, I'm fine with this.
So those are your 2 left back. Right back, Yudlin. I'm hoping
it's got to be Scully. I mean, let's take this back. He usually brings in 5 backs.
Yeah.
So I think Scally's going to be in there. So we have 4 right there, and then Cannon, or I'm guessing Cannon over Moore, but
can't be Moore. Moore's not even playing for Tenerife, although that doesn't seem to matter for Greg. Hasn't stopped Greg before, but yeah, I think backs are Jedi, Jogo, Yedlin, Cannon, and Scally can play either side. That's
Robinson. Did Robinson recently get injured?
Yes.
Sorry.
But he's back.
Sorry, Jedi.
Yeah,
Jedi
he's been back. He's been back for 2 games.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah, he's fine. It was a tiny knock. All right. So now we move to CDM. That's easy. That's Adams and Acosta.
I mean, do you test anybody else then at that point? Do you bring in somebody like a Johnny Soccer?
No,
over
because
Acosta?
No, Cardoso's hasn't played for 4 games in a row.
Right.
I mean, Sands would be your only other option maybe there.
Hold on 1 second. Is Jedi getting? This is the second time somebody's brought up Jedi. Is he getting surgery?
Oh fuck! When was that announced?
Oh, let's find out.
All right, look it up real quick. How did I miss his surgery? He played the last game of the season, but that doesn't mean he didn't have surgery scheduled. So there's that.
1 week ago, let's see. I mean, I'm not seeing anything, and I looked up Anthony Robinson's surgery.
I haven't heard a thing.
I haven't seen anything come out, guys.
Yeah.
And if you know something, let us know. Let me go back through here.
Yeah, if you give us a reference, give us the article name.
Before the season ended, it was announced, planned for the summer, I think. I couldn't find anything, but I'm not discrediting it. It's possible.
Yeah, all kinds of weird shit.
It was like a minor surgery to fix a lingering issue, says Ryan E.
Okay.
There are rumors that he may need knee scope this summer. There we go.
Yeah, I mean, I've had my knee scope. That's not that big of a deal. But that may keep him out. And that means if that's the case, we're going to see Bello and Jogo or Vines and Jogo.
We could. It would probably be Bello and Jogo, and it could be Scally as an option there.
Could be. More than likely, Scally's going to watch, unfortunately, but they'll bring him. Because, I mean, there's so much pressure on Greg at this point. He gets that Scally question constantly. It annoys him at this point. Then
give him a game. Who the fuck are we playing in? We got friendlies and we got a Nations League. We're playing minnows.
Yep.
Get him some fucking time. Integrate him into the team.
And then the 8s, McKennie, Luca De La Torre, Musa.
Oh, real quick, jumping back to the 6.
Mm-hmm.
Do we possibly bring somebody like Sands in? I mean, if we're talking about an expanded roster.
Oh, I mentioned Sands.
Oh, I didn't hear you. Sorry. I was busy looking for injuries, I guess.
Yeah, no.
That's my idea, guys. I brought up Sands.
Mentioned Sands.
I did. No, I don't recall. Does anybody else here, Derek, say Sands? I don't think so.
If Sands played more than 5 games this season, yes, but no. So 8s, McKennie, LTD, LD, Luca De La Torre, Musa. Who am I missing?
Say it one more time.
McKennie, Luca De La Torre, Musa. Shit. I don't know. Then it gets. Yeah. Then it gets a little. Well, we already talked about Ledesma, right?
There you go. Yeah. Yeah.
But
Ledesma.
He
played
play out wide.
Yeah, he played a wing last time he played for us.
Yeah.
Jordy. There we go.
Mihailovic.
What about Alan Sonora? There's been. I mean, he's obviously interested in bringing him in.
I would bring him in personally.
Busio.
No. Bad season.
You're not high on him right now.
Bad season. He's got a long ways to go, folks.
Yeah, and again, if we have our starting 2 and maybe starting 3 with Luca or Busa, it depends who you rate higher at that point. Sorry, I'm reading further ahead here. But do we? I mean, you don't necessarily need to test it with Busio at that point. We can bring somebody else in and engage another option at that point.
Busio's figured out how to work himself out of a starting role in at Venezia, and whenever he's played for us, he looks completely like a fish out of water.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's basically. I mean, we all have the same idea.
Yep. I'm sorry. This is bad. What was the one before that?
Sorry, hold on. Lee Woodcock. I looked it up, but you know what? We have this right here. I'm looking this up right here. Fulham says defender Anthony Robinson is expected to go under the knife this summer for an ongoing knee injury. He's played through the pain barrier for the last few weeks.
So he might not be there. And if that's the case, then
I'm thinking that will be the case. But yeah.
It'll be Bello and Jonathan Gomez. And that's fine. Because we know who our starting left back is. And that is Jedi. Mm-hmm. So the other guys are fighting for scraps at this point.
Let me hold on. That was David. David said that Roldan needs more minutes, Brett. And then we had so Malik at 10 or an 8, and I don't think it's gonna be either. I think it's gonna be a 9, if anything.
Yeah, we don't play a 10. So
Berhalter's talking about changing some things up here with a 3 back, so maybe we could play with a 10 in the end.
That would be incredible if it happened. But I don't see it happening. So wingers, Pulisic, Weah, Aronson, Ledesma.
Yep.
Reina would be on the list. He's injured. Who else? Morris?
Well, no,
probably?
because the USSF has been reaching out to Morris about playing 9. Now he might get called in as a winger, but that's the thing. Like, 'cause they literally,
Give me a break.
he had a thing on Conrad's show where he's like, "Yeah, the coaching staff came up to me and said, hey, Jordan, how would you like to play at 9?" And he goes, "Oh, okay, sure."
And then they laughed at him afterwards.
Yeah.
So it's really a battle, or you could actually bring 6 wingers. It's possible, but I doubt it. Areola. Derek's middle name is we don't play at 10 because we fucking don't.
Sorry, Gabe. It definitely looks like he's going under the knife. Now, again, people are talking about it being a scoping his knee.
I've had mine scoped.
So
it's not that big of a deal, really. You can walk, run the next day. It's not that big of a deal. They stick a tiny little thing in there. They suck some shit out. If you have a pair of nuts, you can even get just local anesthetic while they do it, and it wears off, and you walk out of the fucking center. But if it's a super bad scope. My dad had to have a bunch of shit sucked out of his knee that were like large pieces of shit. That affected him.
Hold on. There you go. It's 3G's middle name too. So apparently there's been some rumors of Cade Cowell being included.
Well, he did get an assist today or yesterday.
He also just applied for his Mexican citizenship too, and of course that may be forcing USSF's hand for a call up.
I heard he also learned his first 4 words of Spanish too. He's not forcing shit.
No.
Bueno,
mucho.
Burrito. All right, burro.
Yeah. What do you mean street taco is in Mexican? What?
I mean, here's the tough decision. If you're only going with 5, do you go with Areola or Morris? I think that it's Morris, but Areola just scored again.
I said that the Mexico rumors are not true.
Exactly. We need to not just let that rest.
Okay, let's pull back up. Let's sit on that.
Okay, so Morris or Areola? Areola scoring
goals.
You said
no, you don't want to sit on that and let it rest, and all of a sudden you switch topics? Okay.
No, this is part of wingers. We're picking the wingers.
But it sounds like well, I mean, according to Chambers here, the Mexico rumors are not. He's saying that the Mexico rumors are not true, and that the rumor of him being included with the U.S. men's national team.
No, I don't think either is true. I don't think he's going to be included.
Or maybe he's saying there's some rumors, and then those are Mexico rumors that aren't true. I don't know.
No, Cade Cowell's not going to be on this team, dude. No. It's going to be Morris or Areola that gets that last spot. Because Aronson's a lock, Pulisic's a lock, Way is a lock, Ledesma's reportedly coming. No. So that leaves one spot, and Morris and Areola are going to have a cockfight over it. And that is going to be on TV in 2 days, apparently on the weekend at 8 p.m. on cockfight.com. All right. And then we move to center forwards, and we've already discussed this. We already believe it is going to be Haji Wright.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be Ferreira. And who else? Who are we missing here? We talked about it already.
Malik.
Yeah, Malik Tillman are going to be your 3 listed center forwards. There you go. All right.
That right there.
Okay, awesome. This is really funny, though, because we didn't include Roldan. And what did Brian
him. I mentioned it.
Oh, you want to get...
No. This is a great changing point.
Yeah, because Brian Schmetzer came out after the last game Seattle played and said, hey, I hope Greg's listening, because Roldan needs a bigger role on the U.S. men's national team.
Well, I mean, and Roldan's come out and stated that he's his role with the U.S. men's national team are extra eyes for the coaching staff and
he's a spy. He's a spy. He's a spy for the coach.
Weston McKennie left the hotel room that last night. No, I bet you that's what happened.
And then he brought some chick into his room, and then he peed on her.
You son of a bitch.
I'm gonna pee on you.
We mentioned Alan Sonora. as an option.
Yes, we did.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
did mention Alan Sonora.
He's an option. We were talking about it with the 8s, right?
Yep,
Yeah, the 8s,
yep.
yeah.
With the 8s, exactly. I would love to see it. Frankly, personally, I've been calling for Alan Sonora to being called up for a long time. So we had McKenny.
He was included in the December friendly against who was it?
But his club wouldn't release him.
Yeah. So I mean, he's in the folds. Greg just wasn't going to not waste. Greg wasn't going to experiment on a 26-man roster during qualifiers.
Yeah. So our 8s were McKenny, LTD, Luca De La Torre. Excuse me, McKenny, Luca De La Torre, Musa, Mihailovic, and Alan Sonora. There you go.
Yeah. All right.
We left off Roldan altogether.
Roldan.
And so Schmetzer is at
maybe
us.
Maybe this is it. Maybe this is the reason why we're not predicting Roldan to be on there.
Yeah, it could be that Roldan has not been contacted lately about coming up for this new window, and Schmetzer's sounding the alarm right here.
Well, my earlier comment about making sure that people were watching was specific to a group of people.
Of course.
Catch that. I think Christian is very valuable in his tactical acumen, his physical contributions, and the guy's a winner. Again, we might play a little different than Greg. I mean, we try and attack the prime assist zone maybe a little bit more often. So,
I'd say so.
He's been a great player for us, and
he's got a big cock.
His final outcome is with the national team. I keep my
fist on my
crossed.
leg.
Ooh. His balls are tight. He's got a very tight ball sack. Yeah, I mean, listen, it's okay for Schmetzer to do that. He's standing up for his guy. I get it, but it sure sounds like he might be out. I don't know if he's calling out Pete and Tack, but he might be. Pete and Tack are pretty well known people on the soccer landscape right now. So
he's got his own IMDb page. I guarantee you on that one.
Schmegma. Isn't that nasty shit between your asshole and your balls that accumulates schmegma? I thought it was.
Why don't you Google that, Derek?
I didn't know if I was making that up. It's your chode area, like the cheese that accumulates there. If you go camping for a week and you never take a shower. I went camping for a week.
David D says, a smooth ball sack. Get it right, Derek, per the rumors. This is about Roldan, not the schmegma.
I'm just saying it could be tight and smooth. I didn't even mention smooth. I mean, he may manscape. We don't know. But
you wanted to know what it was.
Schmega, that's a cheesy discharge. Ooh, it's worse than I thought. Ooh, discharge from where? Hopefully not your penis. That's gross. You better head straight to the doctor. Straight to the doctor.
Just do a quick Google search.
I'm not going to do it. My whole system will crash if I do a search.
That's true. Do it afterwards. Do some research.
You know how this works. I open a new tab while we're doing the show. Bam! My computer freezes. So not even gonna screw with it at this point. All right. So I think we've covered everything. By the way, yeah, if Roldan isn't on the team, I'm not going to cry. Why does this conversation always go to balls around here? I don't know. It's kind of a long-standing joke in my generation. I know my band used to go on long trips, and we had all kinds of ball jokes. We had a guitarist who said, my dick's not very long, but my balls, they're very long. He said he could stick them up his ass. I'm like, dude, come on. I don't want to know that. He's like, really, dude, my balls are that
Casanova's giving you the... I'll explain some other things. We'll move on here, but I'll explain it.
Yeah.
Crazy Electron here.
What's the reason for MLS overall poor quality of defending? Is it players coaching both more than that? It's that is the last position they are willing to spend money on.
Pretty much.
That's why.
100% there.
They're going to spend their money on midfielders and attackers and goal scorers. They're not going to go out there and get some over the hill center back who's with a big name or whatever. Even a good like lower level 23-year-old from South America and spend money.
Say if you're one of those fortunate American or MLS sides that have the top MLS American players,
Yeah,
as a center back, basically.
I mean,
the rest of them have like relatively mediocre at best.
So the two positions in American soccer that are probably the most domestic are goalkeeper and center back. You see a lot of American and Canadian center backs, or even New Zealand center backs, and guys that are very affordable. And that's why Walker Zimmerman's bounced around so much. He's not affordable. He is up there on the scale of salary. So a lot of teams will say, yeah, we don't really need a center back that takes up this much of our salary cap. Can we ship him off to Nashville? I know he played really good for us here at LAFC, but let's clear some cap space and go get some more offensive players, because offense is what does it in the MLS, not defense.
Did Galini Jesus Christ. Sorry, hold on.
No.
There
Jose.
you go. There you go.
Oh.
He said, Jose goes, you say that as a Juventus legend comes to MLS.
Who is coming? Georgie? No way. He's considering.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing there.
He was offered a contract. What's he, 37?
Probably about-ish, give or take.
Come on. Don't do it. Don't be Inter Miami. Don't go get old guys that got maybe 1 year left of 6 months left of life. Don't do it. Look how that's worked out for Inter Miami.
Do it.
Don't do it. I know you love the guy, but...
No, I don't want him at Chicago. I mean, yeah, I would take him at Chicago, actually. But the problem is that he wouldn't be a full season reliable guy.
Hey, Chris
He's
Mueller's...
old as fuck.
Chris Muller's working for you guys. He just scored a goal. All right, good for him. He's not 37 though. I think the day and age of signing 37-year-old players in MLS needs to be over. One of the LA teams for Cellini. I guess if they just want to all over their fucking salary cap.
Well, yeah, that was a salary cap. There we go.
For a center back, fine.
Don't worry. If it's the Galaxy, MLS will just give them more game at Temp. It's all right.
New York Red Bulls signed a really expensive wanker at center back many years ago. Former Mexican national team player.
We talk about one last payday for the guy who won't do much. We paid a butt ton towards Ashley Cole after he ran MLS through the mud.
Yeah, but
I'm not ready to retire yet. And then a couple years later, a year or two later, he signs the contract. Fuck that guy too.
Ashley Cole was not that bad for LAG.
I don't care. Fuck that guy too.
But he wasn't that great either.
I'm sorry. After he said that, like the concept, I'm not ready to retire yet. At that point, MLS should have put a fucking ban on him. You can't. We're not signing him. It's not going to happen, guys.
Yeah,
fuck that. Fuck that shit.
That signing, the Gerard signing, those were horrible. Gerard was absolutely awful in MLS. He was no Robbie Keane. I mean, they're different players, but Robbie Keane was worth every penny we paid him while he was playing for LAG. What I don't understand about Pulisic apologists is U.S. men's national team act as if he can't be criticized and beyond reproach and look at the rest of the team to say they suck too. I'm not sure I understand the last half, but we're no Pulisic apologists. Trust me. We have criticized him when he's played poorly. And we have criticized him heavily on the U.S. men's national team for playing. Oh, let me finish.
Sorry.
Playing hero ball.
Yep.
We have criticized him very severely for that. So, yeah, we're not apologizing.
I'm not saying that Isaiah's saying that's about us.
No, I just want to be clear.
There are definitely some people out there that Pulisic can do no wrong. And it's everybody else. And we kind of said something along the lines where we're like, oh, Pulisic's been like the most dangerous player in the last couple of games. And the rest of the team sucks too. That's the problem. But yeah, I mean, there's a question in the sense that whenever Pulisic gets criticized, do we as American fans tend to get a little over defensive? Well, no. The entire beginning of this show, we talked about how he's done X, Y, and Z poorly at times. but we just feel like the criticism's a little unfair
Yeah.
because it's so isolated on him because we feel like a lot of the media know that they're going to get clicks for it.
What did Lukaku do in that cup game tie?
He should.
That
Oh,
0-0
cup game.
tie.
Okay, never mind. I was going to say he should have got a fucking
What-
assist today.
What did Mount do? He missed a PK. Well, there are lots of guys who did unimpressive things. So,
Well, Jose Tact came out today and he had a tweet. Where he
did.
tweeted the miss. He tweeted
Yes.
the miss, and he said, I sat all weekend defending Pulisic, saying that his finishing would get better, and then Pulisic said, "Hey, man, hold my beer." So, no, even Tact can acknowledge.
hold my
that
beer and what?
He'll miss. His finishing will get worse, is what he's saying.
No, he said, hold my beer, and then he gave me the middle finger.
Oh, gave him the middle finger. You're right. Yes.
Yes. So even
yeah.
Tax I got fucked.
Yeah. No, and again, the criticism itself is warranted, but also just a bit unfair because again, it's just piling on top of the guy.
Yeah, as if and no one else on Chelsea should get criticized, and they don't get criticized as much. Werner did. I'll give you that. He got bashed for a while in the Chelsea press and the Telegraph, but man, they just heap it all on Pulisic this season. It's just fucking weird. It's like
Again, warrants criticism. He does,
but he's not the only one.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
So I think that's what that guy meant.
Isaiah, I 100% agree with your point.
Yeah, I think that's what he meant, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay,
Yes, that's
okay.
That's how I took it, at least.
Well, my ability to read and understand what I'm reading at this point are pretty.
And Jose goes on to talking about how it's some fair criticism today, but he's still my boy. You're my boy, Blue.
I
You're
still
my boy.
still think he's a great player, and he's not the player on our roster or potential roster with the highest ceiling. That would be Reina, but he's still a great player, and I love Pulisic. I like his demeanor, unless he's crying and acting like a baby. But other than that, I think he's a good guy. I don't think he should be captain. I don't think he's captain material, but I think that's too much responsibility for him. I'd just rather let him, do his thing and not have to worry about yelling and screaming at guys. And besides, Tyler Adams is a way much better position to be talking about positioning and tactics and whatever as a leader of the team sitting in front of the back four than Pulisic does as a winger on our team.
There's the thing, I guess.
David D, they're butthurt that he's the number 10. They take that personal that he shouldn't have that jersey. I mean, they is like a select group of assholes, who
Very vocal group.
Yeah, very group of fans. But the guys that I follow online that do, assessments on YouTube seem to do a very fair job. Pulley took a picture with that porn star girl, so I give 100% respect. Which one was that? Which?
It was a month or so ago. He took a picture with it was an Instagram model. I don't know if she's necessarily a porn star. She might have been, but she's definitely an Instagram model. From what I don't know.
Yeah.
But again, porn star. Hey, props to you, buddy.
Dude, I wouldn't go out with a porn star. What are you kidding me?
Sure makes asking how's your day at work, honey.
Yeah.
Whole different indulgement there.
How many other guys fucked you today besides me?
Jesus.
Who you won't have time for tonight because you're exhausted and your pussy hurts. So that's a rough one. I don't think I could date a porn star knowing what I know about the porn industry. And I know a bit. So I've read a lot of interviews about that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow, won't get into that. It's just a curiosity thing I had for a while. Eldon Hushik. I hope I pronounced that correctly. I'm sure I did. $5. Thank you. Are you guys still involved with Indy 11? We'll answer that first. No. We put a good 4 or 5 years into that, maybe even 6 before.
Well, 4 or 5 years as president and vice president.
Yeah, but
we spent a couple years prior to that just
building it,
the grassroots aspect. So
yeah,
about a decade of effort to getting that team where it was.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, we aren't now. Brett's got kids. I live in Bloomington. I don't feel like driving up north to watch games every weekend anymore. I did that for a while. It was painstaking. Since I also had to work in Indianapolis, so I was driving down up 37 constantly while it was under construction. Took you like 3 fucking hours to get to Indianapolis.
Derek, just a couple more years and you'll be good. At that point, you'll be able to zoom right up 69 South there.
Well, I have zoomed up it, and it's still not zoomable because after you pass Martinsville,
down to one lane. Oof.
Yep, it's one lane for a while, and it's very slow. So this is a culmination of over 6 years of fucking construction on one highway that was supposed to be done in 2 years. What the fuck is going on? All right.
It's the beer bug, man. They had to do social distancing. It was the worst.
I think it's just incompetence by the people doing it. Beasley started a team up here in Fort Wayne. Hey, you're from Fort Wayne.
Yep.
Woo, Hoosier. Time for the I-69 Derby. Parental advisory.
Yeah.
I don't know what level Beasley's team's going to be at. I don't think they're the same.
Yes. That'd be the perfect thing. The I-69 Derby, where it's underneath is parental advisory.
It's really funny when
That's awesome. I love that one.
We used to have an event in Fort Wayne, a fundraiser at a company I worked at, and I would always bring the Beasleys up because his brother also played professionally, and everyone knew who they were, even if they didn't give a fuck about soccer. They're like, oh yeah, everybody knows the Beasleys.
Local heroes.
Yeah, I was in school in Bloomington that whole time. Was a bitch going home. Yeah, no shit. That drive sucks, dude. That drive sucks. Like the whole fucking going north-south thing in Indiana is just a fucking pile of dog shit right now. And it has been for 6 years. So
I'm just glad I-69 north of 465 is finally done with construction. I mean, that was like a 2-decade-long procedure in its own right.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Norma Stitz. I thought that might be a Norma Stitz. Norma's tits? Norma's tits. I get it. Bing, bing. All right, Desi Mitch, good one. Thoughts on Craig Burley? 11 Yanks isn't a fan. I disagree. I love Craig Burley. I love his surliness. I love his grumpiness. I love everything about that. I mean, Craig and I could probably sit in a bar and talk for hours because, I mean, we have similar traits. So, we might end up in a fist fight by the end of the night. But, yeah, I like him. I like him on the show. I think he adds some nice darkness to ESPN FC. We need that. Yeah, he's a bit of a troll, but I actually believe he believes what he says. So it's accidental trolling, in my opinion. And what did he say?
Oh, sorry.
Stopped watching ESPN FC and used to never miss an episode. I still watch it. I mean, I like those guys. They're entertaining and their shows are really short. Like, I don't watch like the whole fucking show, or I don't even know where you can go to get the whole show. They're like 5-minute clips, 6-minute clips. But if it's a topic that I'm interested in, I'll click on it to watch Craig Burley bitch about Pulisic. I'm fine with it. Do you think Lana Rhodes has a case to make to be the first female coach with Lana Rhodes? That's a porn star. Come on. You're not going to get us twice, man. I know that name. Somewhere.
Wait a second. You misspelled Rhodes because I was going to make a joke about the Roads because that's her name.
Oh, okay. It's Roads.
Roads. Who gets that reference? Roads. That's another one of those funny words.
Could be pronounced Roadies, too.
Could be.
Lana Roadies. But funny, somebody trying to catch us on porn stars. Like, we do know some of them.
Well, he got us the other time.
He did.
Yeah, I think Chris Gary ended up pointing out that it was a porn star that we spent so much time looking up a player.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get got once in a while, guys. It's like, a rarity, but
I don't have my encyclopedia of current porn stars up, so you're gonna. And by the way, when I was a kid or younger in college and whatever, there was really 50 hot ones that everybody knew, and after that, the line was drawn. Now there are hundreds and hundreds of them from all different countries. Whatever.
I just gotta say the whole locker room conversation at halftime has got to be an interesting one when we talk about these type of people. Just think. Oh, man. Why are they so exhausted in the second half? No idea.
Well, Lana Rhodes could definitely deal with the pressure of being a coach, being as crowded as she was in certain situations in her career. She should know what that pressure feels like. So I'm not going any further, though.
Mitch should use some 80 porn stars next time.
I could name some of those, but I'm not going to. It'll date me. All right. Are we near done?
No, we've got some. Ultra Toxic says Pulisic out. And let's see. Mr. says, what the fuck is wrong with your team blocking Gaga? Who cares about 4 or 5 regular season games when half the conference makes the playoffs? Gaga needs to be part of the U20 tournament. MLS screws over youth national team time after time. Well, again, the issue is that the number 1 and number 2, or possibly number 3, goalkeeper for the U20s that would be called in, both reside in Chicago.
Yeah.
So it's a give and take, and quite frankly, with Gaga being Chicago's number 1 right now, the U20s are happy with Chris Brady. And Chris Brady is, we talked about this, Chris Brady is a very talented kid.
Yep.
And he'll be perfectly fine. It won't be goalkeeper that we're concerned with the U20 squad. Absolutely not going to be an issue.
No.
Between him and Borto, I don't see this being an issue.
And Adunze, yeah, I think we're fine. I don't think Adunze is a U20 anymore. I think he turned 21, maybe. I don't know. Not for sure. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, but Bordeaux's just fine. And yeah, you can't send 2 of the 3 top goalkeepers to the tournament. So, verdict?
Chelsea star Christian Pulisic's awful miss shows why Americans may never fully win over Thomas Tuchel.
Fucking shit, are you kidding
me? The American may never.
Well, first of all, I just want to say the Sun is one of the biggest, horrific, most worst fucking papers in the world. They always have been. They've been spreading rumors about everything. That's all they do. They're a bunch of fucking ass cakes. And here we got to take a slice of their ass cake. And here, we're going to read it. Those guys are going to go fuck themselves straight in their goddamn assholes. Their own selves. They don't have dicks long enough to do it because they're little midgets. Sorry. Pisses me off, dude. I'm sick of this shit. The Sun is so bad. All they do is clickbait. That's all they do. That's all they do. They're not readable. They're not readable. They shouldn't be read by anybody who's a serious soccer fan. They're a joke. So he missed 1 sitter. How many other sitters did he miss this season? How many sitters did Werner miss this season and last season?
So here's the thing, though. They bring up Kai Havertz as an option. As a Mason Mount's different because obviously Mason Mount would be well above Pulisic, especially in Tuchel's eyes there. But they bring up Kai Havertz, and Kai Havertz only has 1 more goal in 500-plus minutes more than Pulisic does.
Right.
So why are we bringing him up?
Guess not.
It's a stupid.
It's always just one guy to blame in the English press, and that's Pulisic. Manchester United fans think the Sun is good. We all think the Sun is good, but not the newspaper.
Yeah.
We need the Sun.
That's very true. Eldon brings up a good point. Adunze wouldn't qualify for the this U20 cycle.
He's too old. That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
Sorry, sneezing. Oh,
mute yourself, boy.
Don't call me a boy.
Boy.
I'm 50 years old. I could be your grandpa.
Oh, crikey.
What
Jose sent it. Chelsea star Christian Pulisic awful miss, and he just basically says it. And it starts. LOL.
What the crikey? What are you, Australian all of a sudden?
I'm all about taking everybody's culture. Cultural appropriating crikey right now.
I think you've watched Crocodile Dundee few too many times.
Oddly enough, I've been watching the highlight. I've been watching little snippets on YouTube about it. Just the important parts.
Somehow I knew that. I didn't know it.
Have I been doing it on the Straight Red Cards channel? Is that why they're popping up? Maybe.
Crikey!
That was the worst accent I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't do a very good Australian accent. I really don't.
Ooh, the important questions.
Yes, I have.
Of course.
I'm not a fan.
You're not an IPA guy.
I love Double Hearted.
Two Hearted, you mean?
Two Hearted, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, who doesn't? Two Hearted's a great beer.
That's a great IPA. Dragonfly is just another IPA that's like, taste. Look how bitter we can make this.
Yes.
Even their fucking
tasty.
wheat, even their wheat is bitter. It's like I ordered a wheat. I got a 6-pack of wheat, and it's bitter. I don't need my wheat to be bitter. I want it to be refreshing.
It's a wheat
a Visa should be refreshing, not bitter. I don't know what they're doing there.
Yeah, we're all on different spectrums here. You don't like the IPAs.
You do.
Oh, I love the IPAs.
Well, I love Two Hearted.
Hey, you dabble from time to time. I appreciate it.
That is an exceptionally well-balanced IPA.
Two Hearted's great.
Yeah,
absolutely. Bell's is a phenomenal brewery.
They are great.
They
made a Trappist ale a few years ago in the big bottle. You could get it was phenomenal, but it was just seasonal. They never did it again. I bought as many bottles as I could because it was really cost effective. It wasn't overpriced. It was like $8.99 for the big champagne sized bottles. And it was fabulous. It was really good. They do a good job there. They know what they're doing until they get bought out by Budweiser or whoever. Then they'll suck. So I never understood the hype on IPAs. Maybe I'm just an old school alcoholic. Amen to you, Jose.
No, Jose, the IPAs are a tough sell. You either like them or you don't. There's really no middle ground.
Except
there really is no middle ground. And again, Two Hearted, I'm going to use as an example.
Yes.
Two Hearted is a great IPA, but for the most part, there's really just like, yeah, it's a good beer. You either like, oh, I love IPAs, or you're like, IPAs are too bitter.
You have to admit that a lot of the independent breweries are doing a bitter off.
Yes, absolutely, and I dig it. I
think it sucks. I want to taste the beer. Good. I don't want to taste like I just stuffed a bunch of hops in my mouth. No, I don't. I'm not interested in that. I want to taste the malts. I want to taste, everything else, the sugars, everything else going on in there. How will you guys celebrate if we beat England?
I'll drink a 6-pack of IPAs.
I'll order a life-size sex doll and have sex right here live on the show.
Okay, they're going to hold you to that, Derek. That was dangerous. Dangerous, I tell you.
While wearing a USA cap,
a
USA shirt, but no.
That's going on our OnlyFans channel, guys. It's not going on our actual YouTube channel. Unless you're doing naked yoga, Derek, you probably could get away with that.
And you know what? What flag I'm gonna put on the doll? The English flag, and I'm gonna speak. Taking that shit to the house. Yeah, England, how'd that feel, baby? All right. How'd that feel, baby? Yeah, I mean, the problem is that if we don't win, somebody else in England's going to do that to us. So.
Hey, I would love to see that. Well, I wouldn't love to see that. I would think it'd be hysterical to see.
I'm going to pre-order.
Keyboard's absolutely going to out of context you there, Derek.
I'm going to pre-order the sex doll. So here we go.
Because you have that much confidence in the United States.
Yeah, her big forehead will be about right here. That's all you'll be able to see with a English. She'll be wearing an English cap or something. I'm just be. All right. We beat you, bitches. How do you like it? All right. Yeah, that one's not bad.
I agree. It was much better.
But he's right about the Heineken issue. Yeah.
Well,
that happens to so many beers.
Goose Island. Goose Island's the same way. Once I think they got bought up by Budweiser or something like that, and they kind of just like kind of lost their appeal.
There are some Belgian beers that have been bought out recently. Some more of the more domestic ones that taste like shit now too. So it happens. The major corporations come in with all their brands, and they just sort of change the recipe and how it's made. The doll will be used more than once, I reckon. Not really. Probably not.
I'll be on Twitter tomorrow.
No, I mean, the left hand's fine. It makes it feel like somebody else is doing it.
I bet you sit on your hand first before you do it, too.
No, I don't, but I've
numb.
heard people do that. Make it all numb. All right.
Okay, I almost had an inappropriate joke there, so I'm not going to hold back.
I'm glad you tempered yourself. Obviously, I haven't. Obviously, I have not tempered myself. My future employers are not going to like this video, so hopefully they won't see it.
They might see the snippet of you talking about having sex with a sex doll.
Yeah, it's all in good fun. This is a comedy show, really, in the end. So, all right, we got anything else, or we?
No, that's good right there.
All right.
Hold on, let me just scroll back up and make sure I didn't miss anything recent. I think you caught everything.
Okay.
I caught everything.
We're an hour and a half in, so this is good. This is good length.
Our time limit, guys. This is our 30-minute live stream. We appreciate you guys being here.
Absolutely. Make sure you like, subscribe, share it with your grandma.
I saw 91 people in here at one point. We should have 91 likes, I imagine, right?
Oh yeah, make sure you do. All I said, like it, right?
Yeah, no,
so you gotta like it, but you do have to remind people to like it because there's so many shows that I watch that I'm like, oh, that's a really good show, and then I go on to the next video. I'm like, oh fuck, I should have liked that because that was good, and I forgot to like it. That sucks. And then it's too late. Well, it's not too late, but you're like 3 shows by. So I use a warm croissant.
Yes, let's get the female percentage up to 1%. Come on, share with your grandmas.
Apparently, Meg doesn't even watch our show.
Well, in the last 28 days, or she doesn't identify on Twitter or on YouTube as a female.
I'm sure she does. I'm sure she does. Oh my god!
I almost tagged her in that, say like sad face.
Because dude, that croissant, that ain't gonna last. That's not gonna last. Warm apple pie. It's gonna get messy. It's messy though. You better not have a hot apple pie, so that'll burn your fucking dick. So make sure it's cooled off.
Go to the Big Bang Theory and get a robotic hand.
A robotic hand.
Yeah, and then the robotic hand didn't let go. So they went to the hospital.
Oh, I missed that one.
And the nurse behind the desk was like, have you thought about unplugging the device? And it worked. She unplugged it and the hand released. So it's fortunate.
No, I don't think that's... I mean, listen. Yeah. Solo's safer than anything else.
Yeah, see? You're with Big Hairy Jake here.
Be a man, use your hand. Amen. Amen. And I suppose if you're flexible enough, you could probably, well, anyhow. All right. Until the next time.
If there was ever any place to end it, guys, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and share with everybody and anybody under the sun.
Until the next time on the Straight Right Card, stay safe in all the ways you can. Bye.
Do it again. Whoop. Ah, fuck. And like it. That's way too many likes. I gotta comment on a channel. Fuck. Oh. Yeah. That should probably do. That should probably do.
That hurt.
More verticality.